G'day and welcome to another big edition of the RDFNL Footy Show previewing finals thanks to McDonald's, and we're going to kickstart our previews. We've got the big qualifying final on Saturday. We've got Macedon playing host to Rupertswood. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by Tara Murray from the Star Weekly, and we're going to look in depth about what this game, how this game will go.
It is, and this will be quite an interesting game. I think we spoke mid-season, and I know you said you wouldn't give any credibility to either of these two sides until they won a final, and they're playing each other first off. So one of them is going to get that final win. I
think there was a bit of prediction element sort of happening perhaps at the end of last season. If I remember speaking to a few people, if one of them were able to win a final in 2017, they would go on and win it. So based on this game and based on those predictions, whoever wins this particular game is going to win the premiership.
I think they're the favourites at this time. The two of them, they've probably been the best teams I've seen this season. Obviously, you've got Diggers Rest still in the mix, but I think these two have been more consistent across the board, and I think, have been the two standout sides. And
Ruperts would have been in the competition since 2013. They have not won a final. How much pressure would be on the club this week? Because they've been in this position before.
There is a lot of pressure, but at the same time, they have got a very different looking lineup. So you've got a lot of players who have come through their under-18 system, and we all know how successful their under-18 sides have been. So a lot of these guys actually have played in winning finals at a different level. Yes, seniors is a step up, but they will take some confidence knowing that a lot of these guys have played in winning finals.
But saying that as well, the under-18s team has been a powerhouse since they've joined the competition. They have had a lot of those guys go and play senior at senior level, but the same problems exist. So I think they're running the same track that it has in the past too.
Look, I think they will at least win. They'll win a final this year. I think they will. I think they're too good a side not to win a final. And obviously, there's a lot of that mentality. A lot of it's the mental side of things. And if they can get the mental side of things going, I think they'll have a really good final series.
A lot of pressure will be on Macedon as well, as minor premiers too. I think there's only been they haven't won a final. They went out in straight sets last year. There hasn't been a team other than in the last sort of 5 or 6 years, other than Riddle, that have gone out and finished in the top two that have been bundled out in straight sets. So I think there's going to be a fair bit of pressure on them as well, just to get the monkey off the bat in that one. And if they win, if they're able to secure a victory this weekend, it's going to be very important for their finals campaign. There's a confidence from a club perspective too.
It is, and I think Macedon's been favourites all season, and they've shown it. Like, they're the clear favourites this year, and they've played the best football I've seen. I think the last quarter against Riddle, I think when they piled on 12 goals in about 20 minutes, you and I both at that game. And I think the second half against Sunbury Kangaroos was a brilliant half of football as well. So you've obviously got them. The one big difference for Macedon this year than they had the last couple of years, they've got their side's fit. They don't have many injuries, if any, and you've still got a few guys to come back in. So I think they were still missing Matt Dick on the weekend, Sean Harrison. I think there was another one as well. So there's three guns still to come back into that side. So that's the big difference for Macedon this year compared to the last couple of years. They don't have those injuries they've had.
Macedon have won the two encounters that the two sides have faced off in this year. Will that become I guess a psychological advantage to them?
And I think both those encounters, Macedon's played really well. It was 56 points on Anzac Day, and that was a massive game. Rupertswood had injuries, but they did not play well, and then it was only 10 points in their clash in round 13, but even that one, Rupertswood, I think, only played well for a quarter or so. So the Cats will take confidence out of them, knowing both of those games they've performed really, really well. Sharks, not so much.
So the key here for the Sharks is that they've got to have multiple options. They've got, from the coaching perspective, if you have your plan A's, you have your plan B's, you've just got to have more available options up your sleeve and try and shake things up as the game goes on. And the key thing that seems irrelevant from their first two outings this year is consistency from them for more parts of the game.
It is, and you look at it, obviously, Rupert, we've seen the last few weeks, they do have quite a few number of goal scorers. Like, I think they've got 2 in the top 10 in Sean Hetherington and Todd Podolzak, and you look at, we'll have the battle between the leading 2 goal kickers in the league. You've got Jason Cook and Todd Podolzak were the top 2, so you've got that battle as well there. So you've got those two, you need multiple goals from those two for a start, and then to get a few other guys chipping in.
Ruperts would have an outstanding defence, but the problem that they lack, and it's strength that Macedon have, is Rupo, they've got multiple goal scorers, but they lack that key forward focus. So you look at Macedon, they've got Matt Knox, They've got Chris Kilmartin, who's strong. They've got a couple of other tools that they can rotate through and push forward. Tommy Waters can push down and kick some goals. I know Ruperts would have Dean Putty can sort of do that, but the important thing is Macedon do have those key forward targets that can kick goals.
That is it. And you do mention Dean Putt can go forward, but then at the same time you've got to go who's going to handle the ruck against Tom Waters. So Ruperts would need to find a couple of other options. All season they've gone not with having that key forward, and it's worked for them. So they'll keep going with what's worked for them all year.
Who's going to be your X factor for Rupertswood should they win on Saturday?
Look, I think you look at someone like a Brent Swallow. We saw the form he was in last year when he took the Bowen medal. Get him in a game like that, and he's hard to stop.
I would say Sean Hetherington. If he gets his tail up, he goes out, kicks maybe 4 or 5 goals. He's a good goal-kicking midfielder. When he kicks the 4 or 5, he's usually winning a lot of the ball through the midfield as well. I agree with you, Brent Swallow, but I guess if you're looking for clutch goals at important stages of the game, he's your man to do it.
And I agree with Hetherington. He has been a gun this year, and I think he'll be up there in the Bowen medal count. But we've sort of seen that week in, week out. We probably haven't seen the same year from Brent Swallow.
Yep.
So he is someone who can step up and take that extra step.
What about for Macedon?
Macedon, you've got like your Jason Cook. I think you've got they've got another guy who's not a typical key forward who has done that. If he kicks his 6, 7, 8 goals, he's hard to stop, and that makes Macedon really hard to stop, and it takes the pressure off Chris Kilmartin, your Matt Knox, and your other key forwards there for Macedon.
I'm going to go on a limb and say James Wright was built for big situations. Nippo has been outstanding servant for the club for so long. I think this is the stage where he steps up and really tears the game apart. I think it's this moment sort of built for him. Yeah. So running through the midfield and on the wing. So I'm pretty confident he'd be one of those guys as well. When the final siren sounds on Saturday, who's won?
I think Macedon will. Macedon's the best team I've seen this season, and there's no reason not to tip them. Look, if Ruperts would get up, it wouldn't surprise me either, and I'm sure the guys at Ruperts will tell me that I did tip Macedon. But at the same time, I think Macedon will get up in a very, very good game.
And I have to come up with a tip here, don't I?
You do. You've sat on the fence all year with these two teams. You have to come up with a tip.
Yeah, I do. I will say I'm going to tip Macedon to win this one. But probably only just... I'll be more inclined to go a bit Rupertswood way, because I would have thought after their previous 2 encounters they might have learned a few things, but Macedon have been the supreme side. Injuries has been unkind to them over the finals campaigns in the past few years. This is their time to shine, and going on my predictions, this will be the one that sets them going on to win the premiership. So, okay, I don't
Watch
know.
this space. Yeendy's jumped off the fence and predicted Macedon for the premiership.
It's been pretty sore sitting on that fence. So we've got a few. It's been pretty hard. But anyway, this has been our qualifying final review as part of the 2017 McDonald's RDFNL finals campaign. Tara, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll enjoy a great game on Saturday.